Good morning. Welcome again to Crochet Vox. It's Vox Chat and Tracy here. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I'm really up early today. Crazy. I think I woke up as Gary left the house. Well, maybe a little later. It was quarter to 5. But yeah, and I couldn't get back to sleep, so I laid there for a while, and then I just realised that I am not getting back to sleep. You know, I'm just too awake. So I got up. It was pitch dark everywhere. So yeah, I was watching the TV really, and made a cup of tea, and did all that stuff, and then had my shower really early. So and I just as I sat here and I thought, you were up really early. You could have actually worked early. And then, I thought to myself, why do I think that way? So the minute my eyes open, why do I feel like I have to start doing something? Like, why can't I just flop and appreciate doing nothing for a bit? I don't know. Weird that, isn't it? So it is a bit of a strange one. Now, the joke of the day, not really much of a joke, to be honest with you. It's more of an observation. Excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. It says, the question, at what age you want to retire? It's not what age you want to retire. It's at what income. It's not that much of a bit more of a, unless you just think, to hell with it. And there is that. Well, yesterday, I couldn't get into the doctor's, and I might have explained this already, but it was at like almost 1 minute to 8. I called and I got, "We are closed." So I hung up, rang back straight away as the clock went 8 o'clock, which is when it opens. And but you never know, so they might sort of switch it on that little bit early. Anyway, as it went 8 o'clock and I hit the button again, it said, "You are more than number 30 in the queue." So I thought, what? Oh, it's just switched over. How can 30 people or more? No, it says over 30. So I don't know. It was 30. It could be 39 for all I know. So it just beggars belief that at that moment, all those people connected and got in front of me. And so I thought, you know what? I'm not seeing that trainee guy again, and that's what would happen. I would be seen by him because all the appointments would be gone, and it'd be, oh, you can see the almost doctor that's 12 years old. And I thought, not happening, man. So I thought, I'm going to abandon this idea, and I know you can buy it over the counter. So I will go in search of the stuff and buy it over the counter. And I found myself looking for a yarn shop on my quest for high street yarn. And so tomorrow, the little short and the video pops up. So if you could watch the short and then the video, I'd appreciate it, because they go hand in hand. It's my little thing, my little bang. So yeah, I did that, and on the way back, I decided to go to the post office. Got there, shut. Great, terrific. So then I went and found the cream, and there was a pharmacist there, so I showed him my hands, and he said, that cream will do. He said, has it been any improvement? How long have you been using it? And I said, only about 4 days, roughly. And I said, I've noticed a big improvement, really, on my feet. And so he said, okay. He said it can take weeks, so it depends how severe it is. So he said, and it will sort those hands out, just keep using it. So I said, okay, thank you very much. And I figured, from that, I really don't feel like I want to fight to see the doctor unless it doesn't work. Then we'll go see him. And the only thing that bugs me is I've got a bit of skin peeling off of this thumb, and it's sore. And the only time I've ever had that in the past was when my mother made me wear gloves because I had chilblains or so she thought. But what it was an allergic to the gloves. So she thought she was making me better, but she was constantly making me worse, because obviously they were wool. Back in those days, you know, when you bought someone a woolly hat, scarf and gloves, they were actually made with wool. And so, you know, she was actually making it worse, because they were probably mohair or something, and I'm allergic to that. I'm allergic to if there's too much wool content in anything. And a few of the things that I made before the booties and the newer scarf, I don't think there's any wool in that. But a few of the things I was making before did have wool. And I think even using the acrylic yarn is taking, as you're crocheting, is taking the moisture out of my hands, because they're in this, you know, they've got this problem. So it's not, when they're normal and they've got their usual barrier of, you know, natural skin's barrier, they're fine. But of course that's broken down. So I think that I'm doing myself no favours when I crochet. But, you know, what am I supposed to do, for goodness sake? Can't really be off it, especially when you get tantalising yarn like you're going to see tomorrow. Just calls your name to make something with it, and that thing that I'm going to be making, I will touch it an awful lot more. So I can't say any more. You just have to watch it. It's good though. I feel really dark today. I don't know. I think it's probably because I'm overtired. So I have this tired look, and even though, you know, my body and everything else was tired, my brain was, "Ding, you're wide awake now. Get up, start moving." I want to ask you a question, and that is, when it comes to people's popularity in the crochet community on YouTube, by far and above, the person who was the most popular in terms of the most subscribers and had 1 million before anyone else had 1 million was Donna Wolf at Nastasia.com. And I won't tell you what that reminds me of. I did touch on this before, but I can't. Yeah, Donna Wolf from Nastasia.com. And yet, when I look at my analytics and it says people, your subscribers also watch, she's never there. She is never there. And at the time, I first started observing this, just checking out the people your subscribers also watch. Bag a Day had something like 400,000 subscribers, so she was way lower than Donna Wolf. Now, of course, Mikey's got over 1 million, but he's not always there either. Fluffy's in. Did you hear that? Yeah, and I want to know, really, why is that? Why is she not among the people that you guys watch? Because it tells me the people that my subscribers watch, and they're always the same, with the odd occasion where a new one will pop up. But the core few are the same, and it makes me wonder. It's like the algorithm puts me out towards that nucleus of people. Maybe it doesn't shout me out to the nearest other nucleus of people that watch maybe Blossom Crochet, or who's another UK person. A lot of these UK people, though, they buy into the, I'm going to do this in USA terms, because it's the more popular audience. Personally, I just try and do both. I get in a bit of a kerfuffle sometimes, but you know, I always put it right. Yeah, try anyway. But you know, that's just my observation, that she was by far and more was streaks ahead of everybody else in terms of subscriber count and all that. And she makes very short videos as well. She's got this part of the algorithm quite sewn up. Her little niche is, she's doing very well on it. And she's kind of cottoned on to something. But why? Why is she not one of the people that is always there at the top of the people that my subscribers always watch? It's weird, isn't it? Don't you think? Just an observation. So I do look at the analytics sometimes, you know, I do look. Don't always know exactly how to get the information from it. But the bits I do look at. So yeah, I've been meaning to ask you that for quite some time. But you know, I always say, I'm sure there's something else I need to say and I've forgotten what it is. It was one of those things I just kept forgetting and I kept forgetting and I kept forgetting. Well, I finally remembered. Pays to get up at 4:45 sometimes, you know. I can't believe that. I'm going to be really tired later on. I really am. I actually found a really good recipe today. Well, I think it's a good recipe. I want to give it a try. Because one thing Gary keeps saying to me mostly when we sit down is, I wish we had something sweet. And I said, yeah, me too last night. And sometimes I do. So I did make a jelly, like a sugar-free jelly. And he likes that, so do I. And we can have it with cream, so that's fine. Well, my cream, you know, lactose-free. But I thought, you know, I did make biscuits once. They were okay. But almond flour is a little on the bitty side. So they can get kind of caught in your throat and make you cough. So I decided I'm going to try and make these other ones. I've written the recipe down. I'm going to give it a go and see what it turns out like. And yeah, but it's a bit involved. But Gary should love it. He should, in theory. He should, in theory, love it. But it is with almond flour again. So there is that. You may notice I've got both of these in today. And that's because I did a little video. Excuse me. I did a little video because the lovely Laurie undid her large one. And I brought them in to sort of do a video about that. And I hope everybody who watched the video saw Laurie's opening. It's very nice. It was a bit of good buzz, you know, to watch that. I really enjoyed it, and she sent me a nice message, and so did Deb, and it was lovely to watch that unboxing and to see that thought process of her going like, where did this come from? Did I order something? Did I forget? You know, it's really cool. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So, you know, the last time I saw anyone unbox anything was ages ago when Samantha did one. Oh, well, it wasn't one of these, though, obviously. It's just a yarn haul kind of thing. Anyway, went into a live stream last night, but I was a bit tired, so I couldn't linger around. But it was one of those with a panel, and I don't always follow them as well as some of the others. It's not that I can't follow them, I'm not that dim. It's it's a matter of opinion. I've got a bun today, look at that. Mrs. Bun today. Look at this. I was going to put the hair up thing, but I don't know, I'm getting fed up with my hair. I'm feeling lately that I should have it all cut off, you know, maybe go down to this length, because I am so sick and tired of it. And I caught sight of it this morning. So I walked into the bathroom, put the light on, I looked up and went, oh, God. I kind of thought, you look like a witch, woman. And it was just... And then when I straighten it, it's very, very nice. But who wants to do that all the time, you know, seriously? When it's that long, it's really hard to do it. And it needs a trim. I've got to have someone breathing all over me when they trim it. Or just get Gary to chop it straight. But then it will lose any kind of shape, you know, and no layers. It will just get thicker. So, you know, that's my... I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably sit there in the salon chair and chicken out and just have it trimmed. I don't know. So yeah, Fluffy's in. It's pouring with rain. Absolutely pouring. It started last night. Actually remembered to take all the garden chairs, cushions in and everything else and get it all keyed up. And I was calling her and calling her. Didn't want to know. Just sitting there on the conservatory. No, on the decking. Just looking at me. It's like, I don't want to come in. So I tried later on and it started raining. Calling her, didn't want to know. So before I went to bed, I did it again. Tried not to wake everybody up by going, Fluffy! you know, like you do, like a demented fool. And she's just staring at me. I can see her eyes reflecting in the light. And I'm going, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, Fluffy. You know, nothing. Not, she didn't even go blink, you know, she did nothing. She just stood under the, looking at me. So I thought, right, done all I can, shut the door. So today, still pouring with rain, and I thought, if you want feeding, you're going to have to come in because your food will get wet out there. So I shook it and she come in. She's now even in the house, not just the conservatory, I don't know. And she's meowing a lot, and I thought, what is the matter with you? So I opened the conservatory door and she looked at me as if I'm not going out there. So I thought, well, you know, that's definitely a sign. I think it might be just that somebody hit the nail on the head a little while ago when they said perhaps she doesn't like it now that Gary's been decorating out there, because it smells. But they didn't say the smell part, but it does. It smells of paint or varnish or stain, whatever it is. So yeah, maybe she's a bit discombobulated because of it, but she's actually in the house. It's really weird. And she just keeps wandering around and looking at me and meowing. I wouldn't mind, but she's been fed, so it's not that. Now, there's probably loads I was going to talk about today, and I've got up too early and my brain is still asleep. Well, half of it is, because the other half isn't, if you know what I mean. That really makes no sense. Where's that one I like so much? Ah. Reminds me of Zebedee. I like that one. When I was young and foolish and, you know, last week, I, apart from the young bit, whenever I used to sign my name, I used to draw Zebedee. And from those of you across all of the ponds, Zebedee was a character for the Magic Roundabout, and he was like, he looked like the guy from the Monopoly board with the moustache, you know, like, and he had a body, but where his bottom would be was a big spring. And he used to go boing, boing, you know, just bounce in to the TV show, and then he'd bounce out again. It was obviously toys. I wouldn't say animated. They're more like just shuffling along puppets. I don't know. But, yeah, the main characters were Florence and Dougal. Dougal was a dog. Shaggy one. My favourite character was Dougal. And Zebedee. There was a snail called Brian, and there was all sorts of things. Anyway, the Magic Roundabout, loved that programme when I was a child. So I used to draw a Zebedee. Like, sign my name, draw Zebedee. And at the side of it, I used to write boing, and then put this little squiggle underneath. And that was kind of my, like, little trademarky thing that I used to always do. And Gary draws a smiley. But it's a very distinctive Gary smiley face. He does like Gary and then a smiley. And every card or whatever he writes, not obviously on an official document, that would be weird. But, you know, he does it whenever it's a friendly thing, he does the smiley. But yeah, he still does it. I don't write Zebedee anymore, sadly. I became too old for that. You know, too old and I can't say sensible, can I really? How can I call myself old and sensible? You know, it's just, yeah, old and nonsensical, not old and sensible, but yeah, you know what I mean. So it is. Now, the next project I want to make, obviously in the series of the Booties Mittens is a hat, but other than that, I want to do that mile a minute that I've been procrastinating about for so long. And I also want to knit something, because it's about that time where I pick up the needles and have a go with the knitting needles. And I might even do a tutorial for it over there on the Hobby Rocks Knitting Crafty channel. Yeah, might do. You know, see how it turns out first. It might be rubbish. You never know. Never usually is, but this is something completely different. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, you have to watch my video tomorrow about the yarn, because that will show you. It will reveal all. Don't think I've got anything else to talk about today, because I'm still tired, really. I don't know why I was so awake. You know, I'm used to waking up, going to the little girls' room and coming back straight back to sleep again. But no, not this morning. And as I laid there, then all of a sudden I heard bonk, this noise, and I thought, okay, now I don't know what that is, and I'm not gonna go investigate. Never did find out. Usually it's something like a gigantic cat or a big seagull on the roof, because the conservatory roof, if a bird goes dum 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 across it, it sounds like an elephant. So maybe it was something heavier. That we always have there's a particular cat that does like to sit up on our roof, so that's probably what it was, leaping from the other roof to ours, probably. Cats. We've got a lot of them around here, you know. And since the lorries haven't been going up and down, you're seeing a lot more of them. And dog walkers. Well, not today. Not raining cats and dogs, we won't. But then we'll see the cats and dogs. But it is particularly rainy. Thankfully, we still don't have too much in the way of like big traffic. We only get delivery vans, that sort of thing. But the wildlife hasn't seemingly returned. It might have been a little bit late for it, because usually it's things like partridges and pheasants and the odd peacock that'll walk by, you know. But not really seen very much of that. And there's a fox that does appear at night, but I'm never really out there because it's so dark here at night. It's kind of a bit unnerving. If you've got street lights outside, you can see what's out there, but when it's really just inky black, you don't know what's in the shadows. Well, obviously nothing much, or your security light would come on, but you know what I mean? It's sort of I don't even like, it's really weird, because it's a lovely area that you don't get stuff happen. And yet if I were to turn up here at night and pull up in my drive, I'd feel really uneasy about getting out of the car and going in the house. And yet there was a time, right, a couple of times, we've gone out and been out doing loads of stuff, and then finally got home and the front door's wide open because we forgot to close it. And nobody went in, you know, it's just nothing. And there's holiday makers and stuff every summer. But yeah, that's happened loads of times. We just left the front door wide open. But maybe when they see it, they just think someone must be in because we left the front door wide open. Anyway, I'm going to get off and upload this. And today, what is popping up today? Oh, yes. The tutorial for the mittens that match the booties. That's, I think, what is popping up today. The right-handed version and the left-handed version, they're popping up around 3. And I've got some swatches that I've done, and I want to film that. I don't know when that'll pop up. I'm not sure whether to do that today or whether to do that over the weekend. Not really sure. I'll see. I might do a few more swatches before I actually do it. Dry my hands out some more, why not? Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And like I said, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.